Hello, everyone. Welcome to Proficy 2026, our annual leadership strategy and product launch webinar series. My name is Alexis Murphy, and I will be your host today. On today's webinar, you'll get an overview of the future of the Proficy portfolio, including our new tiered pricing and licensing models for many of our products. Plus, you'll learn about the ways in which Proficy continues to deliver innovation with a relentless focus on the acceleration of production optimization for our customers. Now, before we get into the fun stuff, I want to be sure to mention that today's event may include forward-looking statements. The information presented is intended to be an outline of the general product direction, and it should not be relied on in making a purchasing decision. Now, for some quick housekeeping, you should all see an interface with some buttons at the bottom of your screen. They look like the ones on the right side of the slide here. Please send any questions you have through that orange chat bubble button. Through the purple envelope button, you can contact our team. The blue paperclip is our most important, as it's where you'll find some relevant content and resources related to today's webinar. Through the orange person icon, you can connect with today's presenter and VP of Product Management, Steve Pawlowski. If you need technical assistance, please reach out through that orange question mark button, though most of your issues can be resolved just by refreshing your browser. And then lastly, please share your feedback. We have that pink checklist button there where you can send us all your challenges and initiatives. We really use this information to build our products and solutions collaboratively with your insights. We appreciate anything that you can send along. Now, I'd like to introduce today's speaker, Steve Pawlowski. He's the Vice President of Product Management for the Proficy Portfolio. With more than 30 years serving in automation and industrial data management, Steve is an industrial internet pioneer. His career spans the introduction of our Proficy HMI SCADA software to leading the company's edge-to-edge connectivity device portfolio. Having worked with hundreds of customers, Steve is passionate about enabling organizations to get the most performance and reliability out of their assets, which starts with secure and efficient collection and storage, contextualizing asset data, and distributing data to users and applications that derive value from the data. With that, I will kick it over to Steve to take us through today's presentation. Take it away, Steve.
Thank you, Alexis. It's wonderful to be with everyone today. We have so much exciting to talk about as we look forward to our 2026 releases of the elements of the Proficy portfolio. For those of you that aren't that familiar with the Proficy portfolio, we are dedicated to helping our customers with production optimization, helping you solve your greatest challenges across the plants, across your enterprise, whether it be software deployed on your plant floor or in the cloud. We give you the best opportunity to manage your production optimization. And we do that across a wide variety of applications. We have world-leading HMI SCADA software, which helps your operators better interact with equipment on the shop floor. Gartner and other analysts recognize leader in manufacturing execution software, helping you drive productivity, efficiency, and quality through your operations. World-class Historian software, which allows you to have a system of record of all of your OT data, whether for a machine, a line, a plant, or an entire enterprise. And we're going to get to some very interesting things later on what we're doing in terms of enterprise scale with Historian. Process optimization with AI and ML-based software. And then scheduling. We have the perspective of you can't be a world-class production facility without delivering to a world-class schedule. And so we're going to talk a bit about what we're doing in the scheduling realm with our Proficy Scheduler software. The entire suite works together to deliver this set of capability to our customers. And those customers that are using multiple elements of the suite will continue to get more and more value from the combined suite. You're going to see some slides later in the deck about a new solution coming later this year called Proficy Data Hub. While we've been on a journey over the last several years to bring the entire portfolio together as a cohesive suite, all behind a common user experience in Proficy Operations Hub and with a common AI ML based modeling solution from Proficy CSense. Proficy Data Hub will bring a single contextual model and data fabric to the entire suite, allowing you to get more value from the data that is being generated through your production equipment and then up into the Proficy applications. And that really then allows us to deliver this world-class set of capabilities to you, but also to use the data from our applications for your business reporting, your higher level analytics, your AI initiatives in a way that's not possible with any other vendor's suite. So let's get to 2026. And I mentioned AI a moment ago, and for us, right, this is such an exciting time, right? As Alexa said, I've been in this industry actually almost 40 years, and the waves of technology that have come through over those years really create these new sets of opportunity. And maybe 3 years ago, we started all talking about generative AI. Last year and this year, right, we've got agentic AI as sort of technologies. And what we're trying to do is understand how we can bring those technologies together into our products to help you get more out of the applications. We'd already started that journey with embedding ML-based models into the core products to give you both not only a great understanding of what's happened in your production facilities, but also to start to predict what might happen, and so that you could take advantage, so that you could take action. Now we're trying to look at how does AI help you in a variety of different ways. And so I break these up into 3 sections. The first is AI to accelerate time to value. So we're making investments in AI-based tooling that will help you deploy our applications faster, so that you're spending less time, less money installing, configuring the application, so you're getting value faster out of the Proficy suite. The next area is AI delivering new insights. So whether that be ML-based models in our products that give you information such as downtime predictions or alarm pattern recognition, and now newly we are adding model context protocol servers to a variety of the applications, really to help you expose the data from within Proficy to your large language model and agentic frameworks that allow you to create new value and new insights and accelerate your production optimization and do more with less based on AI augmentation of your workers. So for us, this is really a notion about how do we effectively eliminate the integration time between your own AI initiatives and the Proficy platform. And one last area where we're making investments is as we think about our portfolio and we think about the effort it takes to not just configure, which we've already talked about, but to maintain and keep operating. We're starting to use AI-based techniques. And you'll see this first in Historian 2026, where we're monitoring the health of the application, making recommendations to configuration settings, and actually sort of recognizing when there are system issues and automatically correcting for those system issues. So our goal here is to make the Proficy suite the sort of least costly to maintain and keep operating compared to anybody else in the market. So those are 3 different sort of paradigms that we're focused on bringing AI to bear to help you get more value out of the suite. And so additionally, we're introducing some new programs that are going to help you get more value out of the Proficy suite. So we're creating some new product tiers which allow you to purchase the sets of capability that you need, whether that be in traditional perpetual licenses or in subscription form. So it's very clear to you, you're more in control of buying the capability that you need for your applications. We've got new programs that give you flexibility and it will enable you to deploy more more rapidly. And so we'll talk more about some of those later in the deck. And we're expanding our SaaS offering. We've been working with customers in the SaaS environment with our Proficy Smart Factory MES for several years now. This year, we're introducing our Proficy Scheduler, Proficy Historian, and then Proficy Historian with Operations Hub Visualization as SaaS offerings. Getting you the ability to be up and running within a day of placing an order from us, where we'll have your environment spun up and credentials in your hand so that you can start, on day one, working with elements of the Proficy suite. And we'll continue that journey as we go forward. So as I mentioned, we're introducing this new 3-tier model: the professional, the advanced, and the ultimate. And depending on the product, right, there are different deployment options. But really, our goal here is to give you a set of capabilities that are focused on what you need and make them available to you, for deployment in your operation. Some of which in subscription capability, and some of which as SaaS offerings. Focusing on Proficy HMI SCADA in 2026, right? We really think SCADA, being that base element of the sort of data collection and interaction with the equipment, is critical for sort of go forward strategic deployments of creating value from data from the assets in your applications. So, we're adding capacity and capability to the Proficy HMI SCADA suite. We'll talk a little bit more about some of those details, but we really think about not sort of machine level or machine only level, but really, how do we bring the data together from across a line, across the plant, combine that data with machine learning capability that helps you get more value from that data, and really augments your users with this new insight to what's happening in their operations, so that they can take better control and keep those processes running more effectively. And so our goal here is really to help those operators that are interacting with the process through the HMI SCADA applications, by transforming those data into insights that allow those operators to translate those insights into performance, right? It's not just SCADA. It's really a new way of thinking about interacting with the data that's coming off your assets, giving your operators new information that really it will enable you to be world-class operators in your space. That's really our goal. Whether it be HMI SCADA, whether it be MES, whether it be Scheduler, our goal is to give you a competitive advantage by giving you new information that you didn't have before, and that your competitors may not have in their operations, so that you can be the best you can be. A little bit here on iFix and simplicity. So if we've listened to our customers that deploy, thousands of iFix systems every year, and we focused on simplification, performance, and modernization here. So simplifying the installation, configuration, and deployment, working on performance of pictures, building on the performance enhancements that we've done with the alarming in 2024, and the overall performance of the system that we did in 2024, Sim 1, and now in 2026 even more. We've added Python capability. We know the next generation of controls engineers and people working in these systems are Python knowledgeable, and so we've added Python capability to the product. We built in a Chromium control so that you can host web content and Operations Hub components right within the iFix workspace. We've centralized certificate management to make it much easier to maintain larger systems. And then we've enhanced our alarm viewer and our alarm service and central plugin registration, really giving you a much better a view of what's going on in your process, and simplifying the management of your multiple servers across your facilities. From a simplicity perspective, when we think about simplicity and the large scale applications in mission critical, whether that be in semiconductor or metals and continuous, often in continuous manufacturing processes, zero downtime upgrades has been a big push from our customers. And so we deliver a feature called Active Update in the 2026 release, which will allow you to do zero downtime upgrades by deploying a secondary system, do hardware, operating system, application version updates, even application updates, test it in parallel to a production system that's running, and then switch over and then update. So really a very rich set of capability that will allow you to maintain your HMI SCADA systems while maintaining operation. We've continued to expand support for alarm scripting and APIs. We've made improvements to the reliability and performance in redundant applications. We've made improvements in terms of model import and export and deployment, and that's going to be important as I talk about this new capability called Data Hub. And then we've added a whole slew of new features that our customers have asked for. So big releases in 2026, both for iFix and Simplicity. I mentioned before a licensing flexibility. So many of our customers that have multiple servers, and in fact may have multiple HMI servers, they may have Historian, maybe they're using cSense, right? One of the challenges you've presented to us was the sort of licensing of individual servers. And so we've come up with a solution called SCADA Ultimate. And what SCADA Ultimate allows you to do is buy a set of tags that can be deployed across a number of SCADA servers, across Historian, across cSense, as you need, right? So it gives you the ability to not only be flexible when you deploy the system, but as you maintain the system, you can effectively move tags around from one application to another. So it just gives you a ton of flexibility and commonizes the per tag pricing across all of those applications. So really a big benefit to you in terms of flexibility, in terms of how you deploy and maintain those systems. And we've had great response from the market in 2025 as we introduce this. And we look forward to working with each of you as you want to move your HMI SCADA platforms in this direction. Let's move to the MES, right? Our world-leading smart factory MES is unique in the market in that it helps our customers, whether they be process-oriented, whether they be discrete-oriented, whether they be mixed mode manufacturing, right? We provide a single world-class MES for all of those applications. Moving beyond that, right? What we added Proficy Scheduler to the portfolio in late 2024. We're focused on that integration between Scheduler and Smart Factory, and now with Proficy Data Hub. So we think about a contextualized model, right? The MES often has the richest model of all the suites in the platform, and we want to be able to use that model both within Scheduler, right? So you have a shared model of the plant floor between Scheduler and the MES, but also expose that model and all of the data within the MES, and then perhaps map to the data in the SCADA or in the Historian to a single contextualized model. And that's really our goal with Data Hub. And so integration with Proficy Data Hub is a critical element. We continue to focus on the user experience, adding new capability for process applications, more role-based security, a better Autolog client. Autolog is one of the favorite features of all of our customers across the years, and we're bringing new capabilities to the web client for Autolog to help our customers take advantage of those new web application space. We've added new capability in the discrete manufacturing space, right? New groups of operations, steps, operator qualifications, really making sure that the people in your shop floor that are performing work are qualified to do that. Route states, over under production, enhancements to approval elements. So if there's a quality issue, right, who has to approve that? Or perhaps it's approval of change orders for in process builds. So really rich set of capability for discrete. We're modernizing the on-premise deployment with cloud native support. So thinking about how do we take our cloud-based technology and helping customers use the best of what's available in the cloud in terms of scalability, reliability, and bring that into your own customer managed environments, whether they be cloud-based or on-premise. Creating new opportunities for exposing data, helping our SaaS customers with new ways to modernize and customize the application. And then GraphQL, I'll talk a bit about GraphQL on an upcoming slide because it's very exciting in terms of helping our customers get access to the data held within the portfolio. I do want to mention the SaaS offering, right? So we introduced the SaaS offering either late 2023 or early 2024, and we've had great success bringing customers to scale, right? Within the first 12 months, right, we have 2 customers that are at 10 or more plants, and that's just unheard of, if you think about rollouts in an on-prem system, right? So we have 2 very, very different customers, one in the food industry market, one in paints and coatings, but both of those have been able to very rapidly roll out an MES solution across many plants. And that really speaks to the value of SaaS and the value of being able to have sort of a simple or a single centralized system with individual plant models that can be expanded plant by plant without having to add new hardware, new integrations with business systems. All of that's handled on a central basis and just enabling our customers to scale very rapidly. If we think about the Smart Factory Value Framework, what we're delivering to customers is really, from a SaaS perspective, cost savings, productivity of your IT staff. Both of our biggest customers, right, chose to outsource the management of their SaaS of their MES to GE Vernova. They want their people to be focused on their own business critical applications and business logic. We manage the infrastructure and the application for them. There's operational resilience that comes, the capability in the cloud for resilience, for higher uptime, for scalability is much greater than what you can be doing on-prem. All the way to sustainability and performance improvements. We continue to improve the performance of the application, and it's really our focus and our DevOps team that's focused on making sure that your operators, your supervisors, your business analysts are getting the most out of the application by delivering world-class performance and reliability. We've introduced a new certified SAP Connector. So those customers where you don't already own middleware and you're looking to integrate Proficy Smart Factory to your SAP or other ERP systems, we have a standard out-of-the-box solution now that's been in the market for a number of years, but now is available as part of the Proficy portfolio. So very exciting in terms of helping our customers get up and running more rapidly. We continue to focus on the user experience. We've added new capabilities to Configuration Hub plugin for Smart Factory, enabling you to do centralized configuration through that web-based client of all these new capabilities. Our SaaS version, we've introduced a new predictive downtime analytic that will monitor what goes on in your plant and then give your operators or your line supervisors predictions of downtime. This is really critical from my perspective. When I started taking over the portfolio, when I looked at the market and looked at our portfolio, everybody was telling the operator or the line supervisor what's already happened. We have the technology to help that line supervisor, that operator, or that maintenance person start to understand what's likely to happen. And that's really our goal here, is how do we take the Proficy portfolio and start to provide predictive analytics that help create value across our very large customer base. We've added document management to the MES solution. So you have a single place for build documents and other documentation that's necessary for those operators with storage, control, retrieval, the ability to cause update cycles and review cycles. So our goal here is really, again, to provide a single point of connection between the operator and the production process and all the information that they need to effectively produce the materials. So quick look there at the documentation management. We'll be doing on all of the products individual updates in detail. So I'm not going to go into detail here, but look for that Proficy Smart Factory 2026 webinar when we get that scheduled. I do want to spend a moment on GraphQL. So what GraphQL is a standardized query language that will help you interface to the Proficy Smart Factory without having to understand the table structure, right? In the past, you may have had to write SQL queries. That's no longer necessary, right? We build the queries into the GraphQL server. You have effectively a REST API that allows you to access those queries and get data into your external business systems. Lastly, I'm going to talk here about a new offering called Rapid Start. And so what Rapid Start does is for new customers coming to our SaaS environment, right, we recognize that you're not necessarily getting value during the deployment phase of your application. And so what we want to do is cover the SaaS cost for the first 6 months, where you're paying for the services for doing the configuration deployment. We're covering the cost of the application space and really forming a partnership with you to get you up and running and get value during that first year, as opposed to, having to, bear that cost of licenses and hardware and servers or cloud infrastructure while you're doing that deployment phase. Our goal here is really, how do we make these projects more have better ROI and more easily saleable within your organization to get moving faster. And then because it's SaaS, right, we give you this platform that's going to be easier for you to scale more rapidly across your multiple plants. Historian. Historian is really a hidden gem within our portfolio. And we're doing some really very interesting things here, right? So we've introduced on the cloud, and it'll be available on SaaS, and we have customers running in their own environments today, effectively an unlimited capacity version of Historian. Our initial launch customer eventually will have data streaming across 600 sites into a single cloud-based Historian, all via SparkPlug-B, where tags are being auto-created, and to the scale of tens of millions of tags at 1 second intervals. So really world-class scalability. And you might say to yourself, gosh, I don't need that kind of scalability, but many enterprises do, right? If we think about enterprise scale AI initiatives, what's necessary? Access to all of the data. This will allow our enterprise customers across multiple plants to have a single cloud-based OT data store with all of their OT data, whether they want to keep it a year, whether they want to keep it 10 years, a cost-effective way to bring high-scale data and make that data available to sort of enterprise scale analytics. So high scalability, single access endpoint. We have parallelized and sort of effectively microservice architectured our Historian. So it is a true Historian. It's not some other time series database. Largely all of the capabilities that you have with Proficy Historian in the traditional Windows format are available on the cloud. All of the aggregations, the collectors are all basically the same, but now at massive scale. And with the ability to replicate that data, we built an interface to Databricks, for example, for this one customer. So they can take large amounts of data. They're running thousands of client applications against this data, and they're replicating the data into Databricks for analytics. So think about your enterprise initiatives and how technology like this could help you, create more optimal results for your business. For whether you're a big customer or small customer from a Historian perspective, the Historian SaaS offering we think is really a game changer, because who wants to maintain a separate server in their plant for Historian and manage all those Windows updates and all of that effort when you can place an order with us and very cost effectively next day have access to a functioning Historian that you can start piping your data to and accessing. It just happens to be running in the cloud. It's a instance for you. All of your data is segmented for you, right? It'll scale. If you want to add tags and you want to go from a 20,000 tag to a 40,000 tag to a 100,000 tag, you want to start expanding across multiple plants with the new scalability features, right? All of that's possible. All with built-in integration, security, the flexibility to do what you need, and we'll be managing that infrastructure and maintaining it with near zero or zero downtime upgrades, where we'll manage the application space, and from your perspective, right, you'll always have access to that data. And I mentioned before, right, we're starting to build AI into Historian. So by enabling customers to do AI-based queries of data, to generate reports using AI-based queries, and then adding auto intelligence into Historian to be able to identify system issues, make corrections to configuration, and just help you better maintain the application. So really kind of forward thinking here around how AI can help our customers take cost out of managing these systems over time. Now I'm going to talk about Proficy Data Hub, which I mentioned earlier. And what Proficy Data Hub does is allows our customers to create a single contextual model across the entire Proficy suite, which will then have a single data fabric, which allows for external applications to interface to all of the data held within the Proficy suite through a single point of connection in a single contextualized model. So you don't have to know that a particular set of data is coming out of a specific HMI SCADA server. Quality data is coming out of the MES. The Historian has got a set of tags that have been stored, right? You'll be able to browse the model context and see what data is available, and then query Data Hub for the data that you want in that model context. And so we'll be delivering this very rich model, a unified namespace, a directory service for looking up what data, and then this integrated data fabric. So for us, this is think about it as a data ops platform built into Proficy that's going to both accelerate the deployment of your systems and accelerate the creation of value. So more to come on Data Hub, but it's a very exciting application. And this slide really talks a bit about that before and after, where today you might have systems in individual plants where the data is kind of trapped within the individual systems because it's hard to know, hey, how do I get to this particular piece of data? There's no consistent asset model context to the data. And then if you've got to configure a new SCADA for a new manufacturing plant, that could take months and months. With Data Hub, we both present that data in the right context, potential for auto scaling. You may have different data types across different plants that you need to bring. And because you're going to have a rich model context, you're going to be able to build reusable model types or object types that you can then configure the next plant or the next line using predefined configuration objects. And that, we believe, can deliver up to an 80% improvement in the deployment time of your solution. So accelerating time to value of the data held within the Proficy suite. And so this is really that architectural view, right, with the unified namespace, the data bus interacting with the data model, and then providing the access to the data, both coming from other data sources, coming from the Proficy suite, and then sending that data back to other applications as necessary. An exciting new thing that we're doing in 2026 is Proficy for assembly operations. So this is an application that's quite similar to traditional MESs in terms of its capability, but focused on relatively high speed, repetitive manufacturing, such as engine assembly or other automotive assembly. Could be appliances, could be other sort of repetitive assembly applications, but in a very modern architecture. We're using AI-based tools to build it. We're using no-code and low-code tools for you to be able to extend its capabilities. It's all going to be containerized and cloud native for hosting on the cloud, whether in your environment or in ours. So a very modern solution to the specific use case around high-speed assembly operations. And so if we think about the key capabilities that we're focused on this year, master data management, that's not just the material and the equipment, but it's also the personnel, the calendars, the shift management, order execution through quality management. So taking what we know about order execution from our traditional Proficy Smart Factory and quality management, but bringing that forward in a new architecture focused on these high-speed repetitive applications. Focused reporting and analytics to deliver better outcomes in these unique applications, and then tied to material management and with open extensibility. So new offering focused on this particular market segment, which we're very excited about. And lastly, as we wrap up here, Proficy Scheduler, we're introducing Proficy Scheduler as a SaaS-based offering. And so our goal here is, again, when we think about scheduling, it's an application used by a small number of individuals in the plant. It's a natural for extending to the cloud. And so, we've modernized the infrastructure and made it very, very cost effective for us to run on your behalf and manage on your behalf. And so we can not only take the critical benefits of Proficy Scheduler, which is really a world-class technology or delivering constraint-based schedules so that you can reduce labor costs, increase your throughput and revenue, and sort of optimize for the capacity that you have, but now in a fully kind of web-based and SaaS deployment model. And really the goal here is, how do we help our customers turn scheduling into a competitive advantage, right? If you are using, or your planners are using, fancy Excel spreadsheets, right? It's impossible for them to react to in-day changes. Scheduling can be viewed as a strategic tool to drive improved operations. And almost all of our customers get reduced labor costs through reduction in overtime. They get much better throughput from their equipment and better material and labor and equipment utilization, right? The goal here is, how do we enable you to get the most production out based on the constraints that you have on any given day? And that's just not possible using many other tools and sort of the traditional spreadsheet mentality. So Scheduler really can help you create new effectively unlock new capacity in your operations. And so when I think about the overall Proficy portfolio update, big changes in the MES in terms of new capabilities, the brand new high-scale Historian, Data Hub being introduced, new capabilities across the automation platform, Operations Hub, which we didn't focus on very heavily, but new integration with Data Hub, server-side scripting or event-based scripting, runtime substitutions of the displays that you've built, and then Proficy Scheduler is a fully web-based application running in the cloud, as a SaaS offering. So tons of new capability happening in 2026 that we're looking forward to bringing to you to help you optimize your production. And so as I think about what we're trying to do here, right, we're trying to build this fully integrated plant optimization suite with that single point of connect that enables enterprise-wide production optimization from the equipment layer to the ERP, right? That's our goal.